Hey everybody, it's me Andy. Welcome to Andy's Kitchen in beautiful downtown Temple, Georgia. How y'all doing today? Okay. We're gonna make some banana nut bread. It was requested of me to do a video, and I've been wanting to do a video, but I just ain't got around to it. So we're gonna make banana nut bread today. I'm using this. That's Gold Medal's banana nut bread recipe. It's right on the back of the sack, and I just cut it out, scanned it, blowed it up so I can see it good. Anyway, let me tell you what we got. I followed it, and I changed it a little bit, but I didn't take anything away from this. I added to it. Cup and a quarter of sugar, half a cup of butter, 2 eggs. Here's what I do. The recipe calls to put them in one at a time. I beat them right off the bat and just slowly pour them in. 3 to 4 bananas. If 4 is good, 5 is better. Okay. Half cup buttermilk, teaspoon of vanilla, 2½ cups Gold Medal all-purpose, teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of salt. Gotta have the salt in there. Don't forget your salt. That's where that really livens up the taste. And a cup of nuts. If a cup's good, a cup and a half is better. Chopped. Alright. You know what's in it? I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can because I know people lose interest after about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and do our dry ingredients first. Where did I put my thing for my dry ingredients? Right here. Okay. No worse for the wear. Add your flour. And add your baking soda. Remember, that's 2½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Alright, let's sift this right quick. This old Bromwell sifter, I've had it for a long time. It works good. Kind of sound like a train when you crank it up fast. Beat on it a little bit. Okay. Next, I'm going to put the salt in there with it. I don't run the salt through my sifter because I don't want it to rust my screens up. Teaspoon. Alright. Just kind of shift that around in there. That sifted flour is so much prettier. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my nuts straight in here. Why, Andy? Why are you doing that? Because we're going to set this aside. But these walnuts, these California walnuts, I just got these from my buddy. He brought them to me from California because when he's out there on business, brought me 2 pounds. Thank you, Richard. Okay. Anyway, see how they coat? That's real important that you do this, and they don't say this on the recipe, but I'm going to tell you why. Walnuts are oily. When you put them in there, the oil will get the flour on it, and it'll hold to it. And what that does when you mix these things up is that it will suspend your walnuts instead of letting them go to the bottom. Important. Okay, set it aside. Next thing, butter. Let's put that in there. Don't microwave your butter. Just set it on the counter and let it sit about 30 to 45 minutes at room temperature. Next thing I'm going to slowly put in my sugar. Not a grain at a time, but you know, a steady stream. I'm going to let it go around a minute. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to put our eggs in, our 2 eggs. Always keep something you can scrape the side of your bowl down with. Looking good. That creamed her well. So I get some out here and you can see it. See what I'm talking about right here? How it creams up? That's the way you want it to look. It won't do that if you put your butter in the microwave, because that microwave don't heat evenly. Don't get me wrong, I use a microwave, just not for that. Alright. That's the side scrape. The bottom of your bowl, it's important you get down in there, because you'll end up pouring your stuff out and you'll have a clump of sugar and butter in the bottom. Alright, now here's about how fast I do it. It works. I do it on my pound cakes and everything. Because if you're trying to make a pound cake and put 6 eggs in there one at a time and let them blend, you'll be there all day long. Folks ain't got time for that. Can you hear it getting soupy? Come on, bud. Yeah, it's doing good. Throw it to it, man. Let it go. What you're doing on high speed like this, you put air in your egg. That's what you want. Buttermilk. At this point, I don't think it matters if you go slow or fast. Other than you'll get it on you if you go too fast. Alright. I've used fat-free buttermilk, low-fat buttermilk, but I like regular whole buttermilk. Okay, scraping the sides, boss. Scraping the bottom, boss. Okay. Now on slow speed, throw some vanilla in there. Okay, 1 teaspoon. Here's something that makes them super good right here. Banana extract. As soon as you throw this to it, the whole house smells good. Fat teaspoon. Smells like that banana candy you used to eat when you was a kid. Alright, we'll let that go just a second. But putting your bananas in, a lot of people say mash them. I did that. Tell you what though, you just cut them up, throw them in there. It'll do fine, just let it mix a little while. It's a lot faster than trying to mash up 5 bananas. Lord mercy. Y'all bear with me, I'm going fast, I know how to go. We're going to do this in parts, but I'm going to stick them all together when I get through. Yeehaw! I got a joke too, but I got to get this part done first. That right there, that don't hurt nothing. See how dark it is? Shit, it's going right on in there. That's the good part. Alright. I don't care who you are, that's faster. And just as good, because you're going to let it mix a minute. Alright. Got my dry ingredients. Always go over your recipe. Sugar in there, butter in there, 2 eggs in there, bananas in there, buttermilk in there, vanilla in there, banana in there, flour's in there, baking soda's in there, salt's in there, nuts in there. Boom, that's all my ingredients. I'm gonna turn it off for right now, and when everything gets, the bananas get mixed in good, I'll come back and do part 2. Welcome back. All right. Here's what I was talking about earlier about you ain't got to mash your bananas. Look here. That's just as smooth as it can be. You just have to let it run for about 4 minutes. What we're going to do now, you can't do this process right here in the mixer. It's got to be done by hand. I'm just going to pour my flour mixture right there on top of my wet ingredients. And I guess you wonder why I transferred it into another bowl, because it's got a spout. If you're doing big banana nut breads, 9x5s, you can just use the one you had. But I'm doing small ones, 3x5s. And you just got to have something with a spout on it or you'll get stuff everywhere. Alright. That's the same thing with muffins. You know, you can't make muffins with a mixer. It'll turn into a cake instead of a muffin. This batter looks good here. I don't know if can you see it? That's about what you want it to look like. That's about perfect. Alright. What we'll do now is going to divvy it up. We're going to fill these things 3/4 of the way full. Sometimes I got a little bit left over and I just eat it. Won't hurt a thing. Y'all still with me, I hope. Don't get bored. Alright. Most banana nut breads I've made, I still don't take them all the way to 3/4 right off the bat. I'm scared I'll come up short on the last one. Y'all do that? I bet you do. Alright. This is pretty dope. Batter. Oh, and something else I'm going to tell you right now. I put my extracts in too soon. It should be the last thing you always put in a recipe. But I tasted it, and it's good, so not much evaporated. Alright. I just had, right before I turned the camera on, I turned my oven on. You know, recipes go, first thing it says every time, preheat oven to 350, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's crazy if it takes you 15 minutes to get something ready. I mean, it don't take 6 or 7 minutes. It takes my oven 8 minutes to get the temperatures up to 400. So, and in the summertime, you don't want to heat up the whole house for no reason. Plus, it probably saves you a nickel or a dime. Alright. You see what I'm saying? It makes 4. Alright, don't ever pick them up and drop them to make them level out. That will put your walnuts on the bottom. Just kind of smooth them out a little bit. They're going to do what they want to do when you get them in the oven. Alright, I'm going to leave that camera rolling for right now. When I get these in here, I'm going to go ahead and just make time and tell a joke. It's from a friend of mine that I met on Facebook named Billy Kilgore. I'm through, I can do this. Shut your mouth. Seems as this feller, all my jokes start out with that. There's a feller. This feller, his name's Frank. I have no idea, right here. His name's Frank. Anyway, Frank met this gal named, what you want to call her, Betty? Frank and Betty, I like it. So Frank and Betty got to date one another and liking one another real good. I'm starting out at 40 minutes. And after a while of dating one another, they decided to get hitched up. So they got married. And everything was wonderful. And they had you know how newlyweds is, they spend their first year in the bed. So, this is kind of like a PG joke, but it don't talk too much about it. Anyway, they were sitting there eating breakfast one morning, and Betty looked over at Frank and said, "Honey," he said, "Yes, dear." She said, "We need to make a vow." He stopped, "What are you doing?" He said, "A vow? What are you talking about?" She said, "We need to, we need to vow that," whichever one of us dies first and goes to heaven, that he'll come back in spirit and let their other know if folks up there is having sex. So he thought about it, man. He was about crazy to it. He said, well, all right, buddy, if that's what you want. So they talked about it a little bit, and then the subject was never brought back up again. Well, they had a happy marriage. They had young ones, perfect lives. They grew old together. Frank passed away one day. May he rest in peace. And about 2 days later, Betty was sitting at the kitchen table. She heard, Betty, Betty, she said. It startled her. She jumped and said, Frank, is that you? He said, yes. She said, well, Frank, tell me all about this place. He said, well, I get up in the morning and I eat a big breakfast and I have sex. Then I romp around the golf course till lunchtime and have sex. Then I eat a big meal. And he said, Betty, you'll like this. They have a lot of greens here. She said, oh, okay, I like greens. And he said, then after I ate a big lunch, it's sex till supper time. Then after supper, I have sex and fall out asleep. Sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and have sex. She was just flabbergasted, She's like, well, so that's what heaven's like? He said, yo, stop. He said, his voice changed. He said, heaven? I ain't in it. I'm a rabbit somewhere in Alabama. But I'll be back. It's me again. Alright, they turned out. Alright, 45 minutes is what this batch took. It varies about a couple minutes, depending on if you go over on your buttermilk a little bit or whatever. Alright, I'm going to try to turn them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Here we go. That's that banana bread I make everybody likes. I like it. Splits on top, looks good all the way around.